Belly fat is one of the hardest things to get rid of, but losing it is actually pretty simple. And no, you don't need to starve yourself. I'm going to show you 5 easy steps that I guarantee will help you lose the belly fat and keep it off for good. Before we get into the first one though, there's a couple fundamentals. You need to understand that most people are predisposed to store fat on the belly. That means when you gain fat, the first place it'll get stored is your belly. And when you lose it, the last place it'll come off is your belly. And also, you need to understand that you can't spot reduce fat. If anyone tries to sell you that, it's bullshit. Let's say the water in this cup is your belly fat. You can't just take it from the corner. It comes off everywhere. That being said, let's jump into step 1, nutrition. Now, because belly fat is usually the last place to go and you can't spot reduce it, that naturally means it'll take a while to lose it. So what you don't want to do is a crash diet, where you give up before you actually get there. And in order to lose belly fat, we need a calorie deficit. That simply means you consume less calories than you burn. You don't want to be too aggressive, or else you won't sustain your progress. A good rate of weight loss that will maximize your fat loss and minimize your muscle loss is 1% of your body weight per week. So start off with a moderate deficit of 500 calories per day. Track your weight every day. And if you don't lose 1% of your body weight in a week, then reduce calories by 100. And in order to make sure you are in a calorie deficit, just use a TDEE calculator online. That will help you find your maintenance calories and minus 500 from that to create the deficit. And that's your daily calorie allowance. Just track your daily calories on the app MyFitnessPal and set that as your target. Step 2 is resistance training. That means lifting weights to get progressively stronger and build muscle. There's a few reasons that you want to include this in your lifestyle. If you gain muscle on your upper body, it'll give your waist the illusion of being smaller. And especially if you grow your chest, your belly will protrude less when you're wearing t-shirts. Also, you want this fat loss to last. There's no point in losing it if you're going to gain it back. And if you gain muscle, this actually increases your metabolism because muscle burns calories at rest. So you will now burn more calories day to day, meaning you can eat more food while maintaining your weight. And you can gain muscle while you lose the belly fat. The biggest driver of muscle gain is progressive overload. So make sure you track the weights you lift and aim to progress on either the weight or the reps each week. And don't forget as well, if you gain some muscle, it'll create a more defined physique as opposed to just a less fat one, because the muscle will begin to show through. And of course, if you gain more muscle in the abs, they'll become visible quicker. Moving on to cardio at step 3. Remember, you need this calorie deficit to create fat loss, and you need to be able to sustain it in order to eventually lose the belly fat. And we've talked about consuming less calories with your nutrition, but you also want to burn more to make the calorie deficit easier so that you don't just starve yourself. And that's where cardio comes in. Cardio will burn a fuck ton of calories, but similar to nutrition, it needs to be sustainable. You don't want to force yourself to do endless cardio and then give up before you lose the belly fat. So decide on an amount that works around your lifestyle. I recommend starting at 3 20-minute sessions per week and pick something that you enjoy so that you can see it through. You could go running, swimming, use any cardio machine, play sports. If you're using cardio machines in the gym, just stick on Netflix or podcasts or maybe some of my videos. That'll keep it interesting. And don't be a pussy when you're doing your cardio. For it to be effective at burning calories, you need your heart rate to be at least 130 beats per minute. If you have a fitness watch, you can check your heart rate on there, or if not, most cardio machines in the gym should have a heart rate monitor attached. Now, another way to burn calories is steps, but I don't count them as cardio because you won't get many cardiovascular benefits from doing them, and they're much less time efficient at burning calories. So if you fancy a walk, go for it, but it's not necessary. By the way, I upload easy to follow fitness advice every week, so if you want to see more, then subscribe. Step 4 is going to be the adjustments that you need to make on your journey. You can't just make a plan and stick to it and then get a result. What got you to lose your first 5 kilograms of fat won't get you to lose your next. That's because our bodies like to find something called homeostasis. That just means they want to find a balance. Think about the calorie deficit. This is how many calories you consume, and this is how many you burn. When you start to consume less, your body will naturally start to burn less. So we have 2 levers to pull here to maintain that calorie deficit and make sure you eventually lose that belly fat. We can either increase the amount you burn or decrease the amount you consume. So either adjust your cardio target or your calorie target. And you'll know if you need to adjust if you haven't lost 1% of your body weight that week. If you're adjusting calories, just minus 100 calories from your daily target. And if you're adjusting cardio, just add in 30 minutes throughout the week. So if your current cardio target is 3 times 20 minutes, just change that to 3 times 30 minutes. It doesn't matter when it's done throughout the week, it just matters that you get it done. And lastly, step 5. It's not exactly a step, I just want to explain that it might not actually be best for you to lose all of your belly fat. You see, the thing is, we all have different genetics. They play a massive part in how our bodies look. For one guy, he might be able to sustain 6-pack abs and 10% body fat with ease. Whereas for another guy, he might have to starve himself and feel super fatigued just to get to 20% body fat. And eating really low calories, doing loads of cardio, having no energy, all just to look a certain way. For 99% of people, it's not worth the trade-off. I'm not saying you shouldn't make sacrifices and push yourself, because you absolutely need to in order to get a great result. And you will thank yourself for it. But ultimately, you want to find a balance where you look good and you're healthy, but you also feel great and enjoy life. And this is important to note because a lot of the physiques you'll see online or advertised to you, the people in them have insane genetics, they're on steroids, they've manipulated the lighting, and they've edited the picture. So please, don't compare yourself. Find the balance that feels good for you. I run a one-to-one coaching program called Hero Fitness, where we help people lose fat and gain muscle. If you want us to hold you accountable to lose that spare tire, you can apply using the link in the description. And just click here if you want to check out my latest video.